exploring education's flaws and strengths from personal struggles to system critiques.
Okay, you got to see you're good enough, right? It's like they spend 90% of the time on these top one and bottom one, and the middle is like nothing,
Yeah,
right?
and yeah, there are a lot of criticism in traditional education, and there are a lot of educators realizing that too, and they're kind of saying, it's the worst. Because in public education system, the score, even though we judge it based on like the MAP score, based on the measures that traditional educators take, it's by no way better. It's by no way good or average. It's horrible. Actually, it's abysmal, even by traditional measures. And from a lot of educators I met on Twitter, they are saying a lot of reason is because the bottom 5% of the students in the whole class, they kind of ruin the learning experience of the whole class. And there are also, and that kind of tied back to the brain development you were talking about. It's just it just yeah, it's just the trend of traditional classroom, and it does make sense.
And you were born in Shanghai, China, correct?
Yeah.
Did you go to school anytime over there?
Yeah, I went to Shanghai for until I came here during like sixth grade,
Okay.
seventh grade.
Can you do like you might not remember back to sixth grade, but I could do kind of like a comparison between China education and our education system as far as what you can remember, the differences or the similarities?
Yeah, I'll give my personal story first, which is in China, I was actually a horrible student. I was ranked bottom five. In some way, maybe I was the bottom 5% of the classroom. And I remember when I was in lower school, my teachers would call my parents every single week, either about, oh, Zion, he didn't do his homework this week. He get a 60 on the test, and my parents didn't put me into a lot of actual course load compared to the rest of students. But I think experience back then in some way shaped the way I am, because I was so at the bottom. I was so addicted to other stuff like video game. But in terms of the difference between Chinese education and American education, one thing is actually why I started Ponder in the first place. But second, really they have a much focus on traditional test scores, on the measures of educators, on the measures that traditional educators use even in here, like a map score. And I don't think that's a good thing. A lot of it is memorizations. I think one of the things that make American education stands out, even though it's quite broken, is how the college takes a holistic view. They look at your stories, they look at your extracurriculars rather than just a standardized testing score, and that's kind of rare in the whole world.